Welcome back, everybody. Last time we saw the two teams face off in an intense best-of-3 soccer matchup where the black team came out on top in a 2-0 series sweep. This time, it's time for the return of Wiffle Ball. Let's get into the rules. So with Wiffle Ball, there's quite a lot to unpack here, and I'm not going to go through everything here, just what's changed from last time, because if you watched the last sports day, then a lot of this is going to look familiar to you. However, there have been some changes, such as 4 innings instead of 3, and the fielders amount has changed. Last time we had just 3 fielders. This time we've got 4 in the field, as well as a catcher. However, the catcher is very limited in what they're allowed to do. It's just kind of an attempt to get everyone the chance to play. And then the other thing is the pitching limits. This is meant to keep one pitcher from just dominating the series. It also makes depth in your team more important. Basically, in extremely simplified terms, you could have a pitcher pitch games 1 and 3 in full, but a different pitcher would have to pitch game 2. But if we're going to get more specific, every pitcher has a total inning limit of 8 in the series, and it's 4 innings in games 1 to 2 and 4 innings in game 3. So the main purpose of this particular stipulation is so a team couldn't abuse the rule by just having their pitcher pitch games 1 and 2 in full, and if the series went 2-0, then the limit might as well not exist. Extra innings, however, do not count towards the limits, so once you go into extras, you can pitch whoever you want without worrying about it. This time around, I've prepared some quick scouting reports so you can see what the players on each team did in Wiffle Ball last time, so you get a little bit of an expectation. As you can see with Black Team, they've got a lot of pitching depth. They have 3 pitchers who are all above league average. In fact, they were the top 3 pitchers in the league by ERA+. GRIMACE with the 5.96 ERA+ is quite impressive. However, it is important to keep in mind that his only pitching appearance in Atlanta was against the pink team, who statistically were the worst offensive team by quite a bit. With that said, you can expect Joseph to be the game 1 and 3 if needed starter. And then game 2 is yet to be seen. You could see either TK or Grimace start, or maybe even a tandem of sorts. This team is likely going to have relief pitchers ready at all times. Hitting, though, is definitely the more prominent concern, as Joseph and TK were pretty solid in Atlanta, but when you look at the rest of the team, Grimace and Howler were below average at the plate, and with Doobie we have no idea what we're going to get. So if there's any weakness that the purple team needs to exploit here, it's that. And speaking of the purple team, here's a look at their scouting report. And really quick here, it's easy to identify what this team's biggest concern is, and that's the pitching, folks. They have 3 players who pitched in Atlanta, and they were all far below the league average in ERA+. Bobby and APRAXIA were both on the pink team, which kind of did a revolving door of pitcher strategy, so the sample sizes are rather small there. With that in mind, it's likely that RCP will appoint himself as the starting pitcher for games 1 and 3 if needed. But the big question for this team is who is going to be their secondary pitcher. Bobby and APRAXIA do have a little experience with it, as you can see, but the results weren't great. So the question is, will the purple team take a chance on King or Larry, who haven't made a pitching appearance in their career? On the other hand, though, the hitting is looking pretty good. RCP had the best hitting stats in the league with a 220 OPS+, and then King and Larry were both solid and above average at the plate as well. So the interesting thing with this matchup is that you're sort of seeing a battle of pitching versus hitting. Black team has the clear advantage in pitching, and purple team has the clear advantage in hitting, at least if we're going to go off of the stats from Atlanta. So it'll be interesting to see which reigns supreme. I think for purple team, the real key here is going to be having their pitchers step up on the mound, because in a potential 3-game series, you're really going to need a solid outing on the mound at least once. So it's time to get started with Wiffle Ball, ladies and gentlemen. Black team has a 1-0 lead in the competition. Let's see if purple team can get one back. We're headed into game 1 right now. Game 1 of Wiffle Ball getting underway. RCP is going to get the start for the purple team, and Joseph's going to lead it off for Black team as we get into the top of the first inning here. Something quick to note is that the catchers are actually not going to come into play until the second inning. It was not something we came up with until after the first inning, so just something to keep in mind as we're getting ready to get the first pitch to Joseph. Oh, and hit sharply to the left side, and APRAXIA will have some trouble
Yes, sir.
picking it up, but he was going to be safe regardless, as that's a leadoff single for Joe in this game. And that'll bring up TK.
Is Lee walking him on purpose?
And walks him on a 3-1 count. So TK's aboard now, and that'll be runners on first and second, as that'll bring up Haller. 1 and 2 count, and he will pop out. TK has to scramble back to first, barely gets in there safely. And now GRIMACE will be up to bat. 1-1 count.
Third.
That'll be a single to the left side, and that will load the bases. And that will bring up Doobie for his first career at bat.
Nice!
Strikes him out. That is a huge out for the purple team. And the bases will remain loaded, but now with 2 outs for Joe, who singled his last at bat. 2-0 count.
Hey!
And hit softly to the left side. There'll be a play at home.
Got him!
And he got him. Just barely, by half a step, if even. Gets the out at home, and purple team escapes the jam with no runs surrendered. Now on the mound for black team, it'll be Joseph, who's got some really nice stats from the previous sports day. King to lead it off for the purple team. 1 and 2 count. And he nicks the side. That'll be strike 3. Joe opens up the game with a strikeout on King. Larry now up to bat. First pitch. And he hits it up the middle, and Joe won't be able to recover it, and that'll be a single. Nice hitting by Larry. That's actually the first hit Joe has given up in his career, as Bobby will go down swinging on a 1-2 count, way up out of the zone. That's strike 3. 2 outs now for RCP. First pitch attack, hit up the middle. There might be a play at second. Oh, but they're not able to complete the play. It's botched. That will be a single in the books. And runners on first and second for APRAXIA, who walks on 4 straight. We saw some control issues from Joe in the last time. And now bases loaded, 2 outs, 3-0 count once again. Oh, 3-0 swinging though. Oh, but Joe drops it. Can he get the out at home? And he will get the out at home. So he also escapes the jam with no runs surrendered. A lot of action in this first inning, but nothing gives as we're headed back to the top of the second. And now the catchers are implemented, so foul balls can be caught for outs, and catchers are in play for plays at home plate. First pitch coming up to TK. And that ball smoked to the left side, but it won't be deep enough for a homer. Larry almost had a beat on it, but was not able to make the catch, and TK is aboard with a single. Haller now up to the plate. Full count, 3-2 pitch. And way inside, that will be ball 4. So, right off the bat, we got runners on first and second yet again, as 3-1 pitch is coming to GRIMACE. And ball 4. The bases are now loaded, and there are still no outs for Doobie, who's coming up to bat. 3-0 count. RCP really needs a strike here. And misses yet again. That will walk in the first run of the game. It will be for black team. They will take a 1-0 lead, as that'll bring up Joe. And he smokes the ball on the left side. Can they get the out at third? Oh, they are not able to complete the play. And that will be a 2-0 lead now for the black team with no outs still, as TK's up to bat. 0-1 count. Popped up, and RCP will make the catch. Oh, and GRIMACE needs to get back to third. That's going to be a double play, as he did not tag up on that play. 2 outs now. It's a lucky break for purple team, as Haller's coming up to the plate. And he rips that to right center field. That's almost out of there, but not quite. And Doobie will be able to score on that easily as Joseph advances to third. It'll be a long single. And black team will take a 3-0 lead now here in the second inning as the wheels are starting to come off. 2-2 count on GRIMACE. And strike 3. Chases up out of the zone. And purple team will escape. However, the damage has been done as black team now leads by 3 runs as we're headed to the bottom of the second. Larry up to bat now. 2-2 count. Oh, That's a tough pitch to swing at. Strike on the inside corner, and that is 1 out. Bobby walks on 4 straight, so purple team's got a base runner now. As RCP is going to come up, he singled his last time up. 0-2 count, however. And strike 3, chases out of the zone, and that's 2 outs now for the purple team. As that will bring up APRAXIA, who walked last time up on 4 straight. 3-0 count again. And that misses by a lot. APRAXIA walks on 4 straight for the second time. Runners on first and second. 0-1 count to King. And that's a great hit. That's up the middle. That'll be his first hit of the day. And they can't get the out at second. And Bobby's coming all the way home to score. That'll be purple on the board with a run. 3-1 now. And there are still runners on first and second. 2 outs. Larry coming up to bat. 3-1 count. Oh, and that might work. Larry makes it in safely, and that'll load up the bases for Bobby. Big opportunity here for the purple team to tie this game up or take the lead. 3-2 count. This is a really important pitch. And he misses. That'll walk in a run. APRAXIA will come in to score as Bobby gets an RBI with a walk. And now purple trails by just 1 run, and they still have an opportunity here. 1-2 count on RCP. Strike 3 swinging. That will end the inning, folks. And black team can have a sigh of relief as they still retain a 1-run lead. And now on the mound for the purple team, it's going to be King. He's making his first pitching appearance in his career, actually, as they will opt to save RCP's 2 innings. Doobie with the smoked ball up the middle, and that will be a single. That's his first career hit. Joe coming up. First pitch popped, and Bobby will be able to catch that down the third base line. That will be 1 out. 1-2 count on TK here. As that ball's ripped to the left side, that should work. That will be a single. Runners on first and second now with 1 out for the black team. Howler's coming up. First pitch attack yet again, and that will work. That could even be a run. And oh, Doobie's going to put on the brakes though at third, and there's some confusion here as TK and Howler both thought he was going to go home. TK will get back to second, but they are going to get the out on Howler at first. That is a tough break for black, as that almost certainly should have been an RBI double, and instead will just be runners on second and third with 2 outs as that ball sails over the strike zone, and GRIMACE will take a walk for the second time in this game. Doobie up to bat. 3-2 count. Really important pitch, and misses. Doobie will bring in a run with an RBI walk, and black team now leads at 4-2, and the bases remain loaded with 2 outs, however, as Joseph's coming up to the plate. 1-0 count on Joe, and popped yet again. RCP will be able to make the catch, and purple team escapes with the bases loaded yet again, but 1 run was surrendered. All things considered, probably a good outcome for them, as Joseph will strike APRAXIA out on a full count. Good pitch recognition though, that was a strike. And King with a 3-2 count as well. Strike 3 on the inside corner, that's tough. He wanted to take a walk there, but just nicks the inside corner, and Larry coming up, 0-2 down quickly. Really late on that one. That will be strike 3. Joseph strikes out the side in order. Quick inning there, and we're heading to the top of the 4th, where black team will have 1 more chance to get some insurance runs. TK up to bat here. First pitch coming up. Popped. That should be an easy play for King, who does catch it, and that will be the first out of the inning. Howler coming up now. 3-1 pitch. And hits him. That's ball 4. Black team has a runner on base now for GRIMACE, who's got a full count pitch coming. 3-2. Strike 3, that's a well-placed pitch, and that will be 2 outs now for Doobie. 1-2 count. Strike 3 swinging. King records a couple strikeouts here as he gets in a groove in the top of the 4th, and we're headed to the bottom of the 4th now where it's the last chance for the purple team. 2-2 pitch coming on Bobby. Takes strike 3 right down the middle. That'll be 1 out. And the RCP's coming up. He's got a 1-2 count to deal with here. Strike 3 swinging. That will be a strikeout for the 3rd time in a row for RCP as he chases up and out of the zone. And now it's the last chance for the purple team as APRAXIA is down 0-2 in the count. He's going to look for his first career hit. And can't catch up to it. That's strike 3 on the bottom. And that will end the game, folks. That's a 4-2 win for the black team as Joseph really buckled down and struck out the side in order the last 2 innings. That's big time. Game 2 of Wiffle getting underway here. TK will get the start for the black team in this one. Joseph pitched 4 innings last game, so he is not an option for this game. As Larry will lead it off for the purple team this time around. And that's it's a close play at first. It looks like that's going to be safe, however. Larry slid in there and beat TK to the bag. King will be walked on a 3-1 count, so quickly runners on first and second here as RCP's up. 3-0 count to start. And loses them. That will be the bases loaded real quick in this game as Bobby's coming up to the bat. First pitch coming up. And that's hit to left field well, and everyone's going to be safe, and that will be a run scored. So right off the bat, purple leads 1-0, and there are still no outs. APRAXIA up. 2-0 count. Grounded back to the pitcher, and TK is able to field it cleanly and get the out at home. So bases still loaded, but now with 1 out as Larry will come up to bat. And strike 3 strikes him out on a 2-2 pitch. And now King will come up. The count's 2-1. Here comes a pitch. Grounded to first base, and TK will pick it up and tag him out on the way to first rather. So the run will not count. 1-0 score. Definitely could have been worse for the black team with how it started. King will be on the mound for this game. He only pitched 2 innings in game 1, so he's got 2 left that he can pitch in this game before he hits the innings limit. And Doobie will ground it under RCP's legs, so single off the bat. Joe back to the pitcher, and it's a really nice play by King and Larry to get the lead runner at second. So that'll go down as a fielder's choice. And TK's up to bat. 1-1 pitch. Oh, and that's hit hard to the left side, and that should work for a single. Runners on first. Oh, and the throw's a little offline, but Joe will stay at second. Runners on first and second. Haller up to bat. 1-2 pitch. And strike 3 swinging. King gets him out on strikes. Now GRIMACE is up to bat. 1-2 pitch. And strikeout looking. That's 3 outs in the inning. And purple team will come back up to bat, still leading 1-0. 1-2 pitch on RCP. And grounds it back to the pitcher, and a nice relay to Haller at first. So that'll be a quick out. 0-2 count on Bobby. Fights it off on 0-2, and that should work for a single as it was ground to the left side. Now APRAXIA is up to bat. 3-0 pitch. 3-0 swinging, but right back to TK, who's able to get the out at first. It will advance the runner to second, however, so runner in scoring position for Larry here as the 1-2 pitch is about to come. and strikeout swinging up and out of the zone, and that will retire the side. Black team coming up to bat. They still trail by 1 run. First pitch coming to Doobie here. And hit up the middle, and that should work for a base hit. Lead off base runner for the black team once again, as Joseph will be coming up to bat. Hit hard to the left side. They might be able to get the out at second, however. Oh, but Bobby is not able to field it cleanly, so that'll be a single. Runners on first and second with no outs. TK coming up to bat. And a grounder to left side, and Bobby's not able to come up with it, and that'll be costly as Doobie's going to come all the way around to score. That'll be an RBI single for TK, as black team ties this game up now at 1. And there are still no outs, so big opportunity to take a lead. As Howard's first pitch attack is in the right center field. This might be able to score Joe, and he will stop at third, however. So the bases are now loaded with nobody out in a tie ball game. 0-2 pitch on Grimace. Strikeout swinging. That will be a huge out for the purple team, as Doobie also down 0-2 and strikes him out swinging as well. King with 2 big strikeouts here, and now bases loaded, 2 outs. Joe skies it to center field, but Larry's actually able to get the force out at second, so no run will score. That is really clutch pitching by King there to get 3 straight outs with the bases loaded and game tied to keep the tie intact. King first pitch swinging will fly out to first. Haller with a nice catch. 1-0 count to RCP. Hit hard up the middle, and that should work. That'll be a single. Here comes the pitch to Bobby. And off the camera, but that was caught in foul territory by Doobie. So that will be 2 outs now. 1-2 pitch on APRAXIA. And strike 3, swinging. And we're headed to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Game still knotted at 1 apiece. RCP on the mound here, as King has hit his innings limit. He had not the greatest of showings in game 1, but he'll need to lock in here, as TK will ground back to the pitcher, and that'll be an easy out. And next up will be Haller, 0-1 pitch, and fouled back off the camera, but that was caught by Bobby at catcher, so that's an out. That's the first time that has come into play in this series. 3-2 pitch coming to Grimace. Missed it, walk. That'll be a base runner for the black team with 2 outs here, as Doobie's coming up. First pitch attack, that's hit well, but King will be able to settle under it and make the catch. And that'll be 3 outs. We're headed to the top of the 4th, purple team looking to get a run, so they can look to try and close out this game. Larry strikes out on 4 pitches. And that's a quick out. And King 0-2, strike 3, could not hold up and chased a pitch up and out of the zone. That's 2 strikeouts to start the inning for TK. And RCP coming up. First pitch. That's grounded left side. That's going to work. That'll be another single for RCP, as Purple has a runner on first with 2 outs. Bobby coming up to plate. 0-2 count. Strike 3 swinging, and it was a strike as well in the zone. So now we're headed to the bottom of the 4th with the game still tied. Black team looking to walk it off here. We'll be headed into extra innings if they don't. RCP starts the at-bat against Joseph 3-0 and just opts to walk him instead of continuing the at-bat. So that'll be a leadoff base runner for the black team, as TK's coming up to bat. 3-0 count once again, and walks him on 4 straight. That one wasn't close. First and second now, as RCP has thrown 7 straight balls, 8 if we're counting the int walk. and hits him. That's on a 3-1 count. Howler walks as well, and just like that, the bases are loaded in a flash. Really good opportunity for black team to walk it off here, as there are no outs and the bases are loaded. GRIMACE gonna look for that possibility. Count is 2-2. Big pitch coming up. And that should do it, folks. That's grounded in the left side. King isn't able to come up with it, but even if he was, Joe was definitely making it home either way. That will be the game and the series. Black team wins the game 2-1 and wins the series 2-0. That'll give them a 2-0 lead in Sports Day. So here's a look at the stats for Wiffle Ball this time around. On the top, you've got the hitting categories, and on the bottom, you have the pitching categories. No home runs or even any extra base hits this time around, so next Sports Day, we'll probably try to get a setup more similar to the one we had in Atlanta so that there's a better offensive run environment. But with that said, here's a look at the hitting leaderboards. You can see who led each of these respective categories. And then the pitching leaderboards, which measure things like volume of runs given up, strikeout rate, walk rate, etc. And now for the Player of the Game awards. These both were honestly pretty tough for me to choose. In Game 1, I went with Joseph. He had a really good outing on the mound. There was the second inning where the wheels sort of came off a bit and he got into a lot of trouble. But in the last 2 innings, with a lead, he really just locked it down and prevented the purple team from doing anything. 11 strikeouts, which is a really impressive number, and then also drove in a run at the plate for good measure. I did think about giving the Game 1 Player of the Game award to Howler because he had a really great game at the plate, but I think the way that Joe shut them down in the last 2 innings really can't be ignored. In Game 2, I really was tempted to give the MVP to GRIMACE just for getting the walk-off hit, but in reality, with the bases loaded and no outs, it was very likely that the black team was going to walk it off there. It was just a matter of who. I really didn't want to be biased here, so I also did ask a couple other people their opinions on this as well. So with that in mind, I went with TK, who had a very dominant performance on the mound, giving up only 1 run, pitching a complete game, 6 strikeouts, which is solid, only 2 walks, so he was really attacking the zone well. And then not to mention a really solid game at the plate, 2 for 3 with a walk and an RBI, which happened to be the game-tying RBI when they were trailing 1-0. So for those reasons, those are the players that I chose to receive these awards. So with that Wiffle Ball win, the black team now jumps out to a commanding 2-0 lead in Sports Day. It's really crunch time for the purple team now, as the next sport we're going to be getting into is kickball. So that's what you'll be seeing next time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.